Hi everyone. All right, we're getting ready to chef it up. Happy Saturday. I hope everybody had a good week and having a good weekend. So, today we are fighting with ingredients. I wanted to make something and I didn't have all the ingredients and I did not feel like going to the store either. So, we're going to make stuffed peppers. I know stuffed peppers are done so much, and I know stuffed peppers can be boring. Hi. I know stuffed peppers can be boring, and they're done a lot, but we're going to call this limited ingredients because I didn't have everything, but we're going to still put it together. We're going to pull it off, okay? We're going to put it together, and we're going to pull it off with limited ingredients when you don't have two things that match. All right, so what we have the bell peppers, we have the tomatoes, we have the mozzarella, and over here I love, it's not rice, I love orzo. So when I do stuffed peppers, I'll do orzo. Okay, so it looks like rice, but it's actually orzo. It's a pasta. And of course, ground turkey. I have the oven on 400. I'm going to oil these up with some EVOO, and I'm gonna put them in the oven while we get all of these things ready. I'm putting them in the oven to soften them up a little bit, so when you go to eat your stuffed pepper, the pepper is not so tough, not so hard. It's an easy chew, an easy cut down, okay? So let's do that. Let's do that now. All right, you should be able to see me. Yep. All right. And I want to say thank you still. The videos are doing pretty good. The chicken wings from Costco did pretty good, and everything else is still coming along, doing pretty well as well. I want to say thank you guys for y'all support. You know, we small over here, but we are trying, and I asked you guys to tell me what y'all wanted me to make, but nobody said anything, so I said whatever I cooked, that was going to be it. So we're going to just take these, we just oiled them up a little bit. They don't have to be in perfect order. We're going to pop them in the oven and just start letting them soften up a little bit, okay? And I will, hold on. I'm gonna turn the heat on over here on this ground turkey. Of course, as always, use beef, pork, chicken, veal, use anything you like. You guys already know which lane I'm in. No, I don't get sick of turkey. It's just what I eat. All right, so I'm going to turn the heat on and start breaking this turkey down. Over here, that's the water getting ready to boil for the orzo, okay? We are going to season this ground turkey. I'm adding a little garlic salt, not too much. This Lowry's is, boy, this thing is strong. So you don't need a lot. That is good right there. And then I love them running out, but I do have another one on deck, the basil, oregano, garlic, sea salt. So it has more sea salt, so that's why I went light on the first one. But it has that lovely basil taste. I like basil, so if you don't like basil, I get it. And then this one is the perfect pinched Italian seasoning. Everyone knows this one. So I'm generous with that. Get all of that in there. And I'm just going to move those out the way. And we're going to get that moved around. And now we are going to add our tomatoes. This is good. We're going to add our tomatoes. You guys can see me? Yep. Okay. I always want to make sure I'm in frame. You know, I don't have a vlogging camera, or what you call it, a DJI or whatever. I told you I'm not that fancy yet. I'm just using my cell phone. So we're going to get that going. And I'm going to turn the heat off because it's really done and it's going in the oven. Just going to work that in. And remember, this is limited ingredients. I didn't have much, but I had some things. I didn't have the ricotta. I didn't have any Parmesan. And I did not feel like going to the store, so we're going to make it work. We're going to stretch it. I just added a little bit of water. That's all. And the heat is off. We're just going to push that down. Okay, I'm just going to let that simmer, work off of the heat from the stove. But I did turn it off. Let that do what it needs to do, and we'll be right back to it. So I'm giving you guys a different angle. This is waiting for the orzo. The water is boiling. So we're just going to go ahead and just add the orzo in there. And just like regular pasta, it maybe need less than 5 minutes, like 5 or 6 minutes. And it's ready. And I probably do al dente because I'm going to add it into the meat mixture, the bolognese, and then we're going to add it into the pepper. We're going to top it with the mozzarella, and then we're going to add it back to the oven. It's going to continue to cook, so we don't really have to cook it the full time. Okay, all right, so let's let that get to boiling. Just for reference, there's no oil in the pot, in the water. There was just a little bit of salt. That's it. You don't add oil or butters, emulsifiers to your water for your pastas because it make it sticky and kind of gummy. Just fresh cold water, bring it to a rapid boil. You add some salt, sea salt, pink salt, garlic salt, and that's it. Okay, all right. I'm transferring the bolognese, the meat sauce, into this white bowl because it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot, and I don't want to make a mess. Okay, so you probably have to do that too. So it's in there, and then I'm going to add the orzo in a second. All right, we are going to drain the orzo. So here it is right here. It's perfect. So I'm just going to drain it. I'm probably not going to get all those out. I'm not going to worry about that. Just going to get that drained. It's okay if a little bit of the pasta water is hanging around in there. And we're going to bring this right over to the white bowl with the meat sauce, okay? Come on. All right. Let's get this in there. Whim wham, whim wham, whim wham. I'm not worrying about all these little pieces. It's okay. Where is my spoon? Anybody see my spoon? I found it. I'm just going to give that a nice mix. I'm getting ready to pull the peppers out the oven. I can smell them. Remember, we put the peppers in the oven to make them sweat, right? By them sweating, some softens them up. So when you go to eat the stuffed pepper, it's not so tough like a fresh pepper. Nothing wrong with a tough fresh pepper. It's just, you know, just give it, making it sweat softens it up just a little bit. So I'm going to pull those out and you'll see how they look. They pretty much look the same, but they're just a little more tender. Let's take those out. I about almost dropped them. All right, so here they are. Let's get a peek. Let's get closer. Let's move the bowl out. Move you guys closer. There they are. All right. All right, now we're going to start filling them. We're going to start to fill them, and we're going to add the mozzarella, okay? Let me double check and make sure I didn't have any Parmesan. I looked in there. Let me look one more time. No. 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 No parm. Like I said, this is limited ingredients. You guys ready? Let's go ahead and fill this. Let's go ahead and fill these. And I'm gonna have mixture left over. If I get any more peppers, I'll probably just stuff those. But right now, this is what I had on hand. Like I said, limited ingredients. So y'all don't talk about me. This is what I had. Okay, I'm just gonna stuff them, kind of overfill them. And the rest I'll just put away. And now we're just gonna start placing the mozzarella on top. I'm gonna do 2 for now, make sure I have enough to go around. And I can come back and add more. See? You see what I mean? I didn't have enough. But that's okay. We're gonna make it do what it do. Alright, now this is gonna get covered and it's gonna go into the oven, okay? Back into the oven. Hang tight. They're going back in to the oven. Probably do like 10 minutes covered and 10 minutes uncovered. It's not going to take that long at all, okay? All right, we're taking it out the oven. It has been roughly, I would say 15 minutes. It melted. And then I removed the foil. I removed the foil, you see it there. And I let it continue without the foil just to give it that nice top. Over here, we have some parsley that we're gonna top it with. I do have the Parmesan, the grated, but that's not the cheese that we needed. That's why I call it limited ingredients. I call it the limited ingredients because we didn't have the ricotta. All right, that's what makes it that nice ziti lasagna. But we didn't have that. That's okay. And we didn't have like any shredded cheese. So we're just gonna work with what we have, okay? And then over here, this was the leftover mixture. That's the leftover mixture, okay? So let's pull it on out the oven. Just gonna make it work. Sometimes you just have to make it work.
All right, people. Next up, we have Jamel in the house with big old portobello mushrooms and Calabrian chili.
All right, there we go. Can we see them? Yep. Very good. Let me tilt you guys straight down so you can see right on top. Or let's turn you this way. How about that? All right. So you can see the edges. The edges got a nice little sear because I took the foil off and I did a little roast on it. All right. And now we're going to do, we're just going to give it some parsley. Just going to hook it up. All right. And then we can add more parm to it. And even when you plate it yourself, You can add more parm to the bottom of the plate just to give yourself that extra cheese. Extra cheese. And now, fiesta resistance. Let's get us one. I'm going for this one. Can you see the one I'm going for? Yep. Yep, I'm going for this one right here. Got my eye on this one right here. Y'all see that cheese pull, right?
Explain to me why you put the shredded beef in the freezer.
All right. We got it. We're going to leave that there. And we're going to still add us a little bit more parsley. And now, let's get ready to taste it. We're going to move this out the way. We're going to bring this a little closer.
Confidence level 1 to 10.
Okay.
Let's see what you got.
And it's nice and tender, just like I said. And we're just going to scooch all that up. And Lord, here we go. I'm always tasting something while it's hot. Super hot, right out the oven. Okay. Let's get it. Woo. All right, turn the camera around. All right. I'm not going to scorch my mouth. Okay. Whoop. Almost dropped it. Hold on. Mm-hmm. It's seasoned. It's seasoned well. It's missing the ricotta. I'm being honest. It's missing the ricotta, but it's seasoned well. Pasta, ground turkey, everything is there. The pepper is great. A great bite. A great little Saturday night snack. Okay? So, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. And I will see y'all next week. Have a good one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Bye.